Hello YouTube and welcome to GrunfWorks. This is episode 13 of the Interplanetary Voyage Series 2. And we are well within our launch window. The launch window to Duna is in 16 days, meaning it is time to, be launching whatever ships we have into the orbit at least. So I'm gonna first launch the return pod ship, and as you remember, it is the second return pod that we're launching. The first one we have already launched and docked to the orbital station 1, so I want to be sending another pod. Okay, so waiting until the station comes into a favorable position, which I guess should be somewhere about here. Throttle to max, SAS on, and let's launch it. This is a very, very simple rocket, so nothing really major going on here, and we have launched similar one, although that one had the eccentric quarks experiment, which we will make of good use in future episodes, because the eccentric quarks I consider to be a prerequisite to discovering the secrets and how to make exotic matter, which is being used for some of the more interesting drives and advanced propulsions that you will be seeing soon. Trademark. Okay. The great plume of our Rocketoria, I guess, is coming. So let's see, we have an apoapsis of 100, and we might have jumped the gun a little bit too early. But then again, I will be adding a maneuver and I will be circularizing at this point, and then we will just be making the standard rendezvous, or maybe I could be somewhere around here. What do you know? 1708 delta V. Why not? Let's just get rid of this tower, escape tower. It will fall back to Kerbin, so it will just burn off in the atmosphere, so I'm not too worried about it. And our estimated burn is around 39-ish seconds, which I don't really believe to be the case fully, because we will run out of this stage anyway. And now kicking the gas, aligning once again, and okay, reactivating. Anyway, I wanted to activate our Communitron 16, because this is after all a remote controlled ship. We must not forget that. And we are burning for the circularization, which is 600 meters per second more. We have plenty of delta V, so I'm not overly concerned. And stage and final circularization will be done on this small low-profile Atlas engine. I actually like this design because that our first two stages that we have launched will be falling back to Kerbin, burning off in the atmosphere, and we can be none the wiser, which I think is great. Okay, we are almost orbital, and we are orbital. Okay. Great. Oh, and I botched that approach, didn't I? Okay, yeah, I was hoping that I would do a little bit better when it comes to the rendezvous. But let's make another maneuver note, see if we can fix it somewhat. at any point in time when we are really ready. Oh, and it seems like this should do just fine. So just 19 meters per second burn and we should be golden. Well, that sounds easy enough. And it's gonna happen in 2 hours and 12 minutes. So I think 4 or 5 circles around the Kerbin, but then again, do you really want to watch me do like 4 laps around Kerbin? I don't think so, but so yeah, that's why I just skipped now to the point where I should be doing the burn in the first place. Okay, burn coming up on the maneuver node in 2 minutes. And just looking at where the target marker is, to be honest, I could just burn directly for the target. I think it's much simpler. 37 meters per second relative velocity, and I want to be going fast, not too fast, but then again, this is a very nimble little ship and it's so easy to maneuver, so I think we will have no trouble whatsoever docking this one. I just want to keep my retrograde target marker and my retrograde marker aligned. And we will be passing within 1.7 kilometers of the target in roughly, I believe it's 2 minutes. Sorry, 3 minutes 58 seconds. Maybe a little bit more burning towards the target, picking up some speed, because we can, why not? We have 795 meters per second, and I mean, it's enough for both maneuvering to the orbital lab and getting back to Kerbin. So overall, I'm pretty happy with this small craft. I believe this is one of the rare occasions where I have actually not over-engineered a craft, or over-engineered it by just a smidge. Okay, target 14 meters per second relative velocity, 10 meters per second, and we are 900 meters from the orbital lab anyway. And we will be passing at 0.0 kilometers in 69 seconds, meaning we are headed straight for it. Which I guess is a good thing, because that's the place we're trying to get anyway. And while we're doing so, I'm trying to see, first I'm selecting any docking port just until I see where I'm supposed to go, and then I will select the correct one. Using Navyfish docking port alignment indicator mod for the docking. I mean, I've been using it since forever and it's an amazing mod. Really helps out once you learn how to use it. Okay, 199 meters, and we are approaching at 2 meters per second, which I think it's decent enough. And I think we should start considering doing the rendezvous, or not the rendezvous, but the docking dance. Okay, this is an empty port, so let's control from our docking port, aligning the orange reticule in the center, because that means that our 2 ports are aligned, and then fixing the orange hinge that is above at the 360 degrees marker, meaning we are oriented at the same as the docking port on the station. And then I am moving my yellow reticule so to push the orange or the 2 green lines back to the center, while also burning my translation thrusters to match. 30 meters. slightly accelerated, but not by too much. I think this is 1.5 times accelerated. Now that I'm getting a good frame rate, I no longer need to massively accelerate. Okay, coming in. It's actually pretty simple docking, so nothing really major going on here. And we're docked. As simple as that. Beautiful. Okay, now we have 2 return pod ships because, you know, commuting. A little bit interstellar commuting, but still commuting. Then the last ship that I want to be launching is definitely the Duna tanker lander. Because that one is... the reasoning behind that one is, if you remember, on Duna we have a carbonite miner. And if we are to land any craft down there, and I was primarily thinking my SSTO Discovery, so not the Voyager. The Voyager is returning back to Kerbin, but the Discovery should be landing somewhere along those lines. And if it lands a little bit further out, I really don't want to be making the world's longest taxi on Duna. So I prefer to have a rover that can, you know, pick up some fuel, refuel the, you know, the SSTO, and be on its merry way. And besides, we will be soon enough, trademark, be creating a surface base on Duna, but not just yet. So I want to make sure that I have selected my crew, which I have. It's Chuck Kerman, engineer, Ikrit Kerman, scientist, and Wilhaf Tarkin Kerman, engineer. So yeah, 2 engineers and a scientist, because now, given the fact that we are flying with rovers and we will be doing some experiments, I really want my my engineers and my scientists to go much further. Okay. So we have a total of 3 Kerbals, and Ikrit for some reason is getting dizzy. Either getting dizzy or completely freaking out. I haven't yet decided what. But Wilhaf Tarkin Kerman seems to be enjoying himself thoroughly. Passing 40-meter apoapsis. These ships containing landers are actually pretty big. And it will be really interesting to get them on Duna in the first place, because I think that my interplanetary stage is not stellar in terms of delta V, so I might need to pull off some wizardry just to land the damn thing. I'm even thinking of, you know, aerobraking with the lander and the rover still attached, and then at some point release the chutes, and when the chutes are released, then just split them together. Maybe, I haven't decided yet, so yeah. Okay, aiming maneuver prograde, and getting ready to just shoot ourselves out and circularize. Yeah. Detaching the boosters. Oops. Okay, slight mishap there. No matter, everything is still working as intended. Engineers assure us that explosions are perfectly normal. (900 meters per second to burn. Going orbital. Kicking the interstage. And that's it. Okay, we are orbital. We don't have the world's best orbit, I guess, 144 by 72, but then again, I'm okay with it. So let's EVA and let's put our Kerbals to deep freeze. As you remember, Zaydin was the first Kerbal that was supposed to be, a first Kerbal popsicle going to Duna. And right now we have Chuck, who will be joining them, and I believe Ikrit Kerman, who will be also joining them. So yeah. Sorry guys, but I need to put you in the fridge. And yeah, you can see by the amount of fiddling it takes that they are really not that eager to go. But then again, I mean, they signed up for the mission, they knew what they were getting themselves into. So yeah, Ikrit and Chuck. We have enough power, we have enough glycanol, so might as well starting freezing. Zzz. And another one. Okay, and zzz. Great! So Wilhuff Tarkin, you will be the commander of this mission, so you will be taking these guys to Duna and then hopefully onwards. We just have to remember to actually thaw them and wake them up, defreeze them, call them whatever you want, once we actually get in the orbit around Duna, because this fairing that they're attached to will be ditched during the re-entry to Duna. So yes, we don't want to be ditching the re-entry, or not the re-entry, ditching the fairing with them still being present. That would kind of defeat the purpose of taking them here in the first place. Okay, and let's close this window. I just want to make tiny corrections and make sure that our, well, transition, or what do you call it, our parking orbit is a little bit more circular than it is currently. So yeah, 56 meters per second burn, and screenshot, it's not really that big, so we might as well. Okay, and we're there. 144 by 144. I think that's good enough. Okay, moving onwards. Let us just time accelerate until we get actually close to the Duna launch window. We have 12 days and I don't intend to do anything in those 12 days, because it's just too close. I really want to get a little bit closer and then just start ejecting my craft that I have. So that would be my thought anyway. So let's see. I think I want to come as close as maybe a couple of hours, not really more. So 2 days, I am decelerating a little bit, but still. 1 day, 3 hours, 1 day, 2 hours. Still too long. I want it to be less than a day, that's for sure. 5 hours, and now we're already talking. Okay. So, let's choose the lucky winner, which will be the first ship to execute this maneuver. And if your bets are placed on a ship... Okay, just give me a second. Let's see. I want to be finding Duna Orbital Lab 1 because that is where our first ship is hiding. So Kerbin Orbital Lab 1. If you remember, in the episode 12, we have launched the SSTI, single stage to Interplanetary Horus, and congratulations, you are the first one to go. So, I have obviously corrected my faults when it comes to having Idlu and a REM-T. It was a sad reminder that I'm not perfect when it comes to planning these missions. It happens, what can you do? But okay, I am refueling the SSTI a little bit, because I wanted to have enough delta V for everything. Liquid fuel, and what we can do, I can add a little bit more. Liquid fuel, sure. Okay, to me it sounds good enough. I've checked also the life support. And let's see, I want to be taken, so Idlu's place will be taken by G. Kerman. You will be taking Idlu's place, and by that I mean the pilot seat. So, congratulations, buddy. Okay. Then let us disconnect the SSTI using the power of monoprop. We are slowly but surely leaving Kerbin Orbital Lab 1 and embarking on a grand adventure to Duna. Yeah. So let me just run a quick check of the engines. I want to be enabling the xenon engines, burning just a little so that we grab initial velocity so that we can leave Kerbin Orbital Lab 1 behind us, together with this awesome screenshot that I plan to take. Oh, let's call it a screenshot candidates. I'm shooting way more screenshots than I'm actually putting, because I want a good one to be a thumbnail for the episode anyway. So, time to set up the ejection maneuver. Let's see, the angle should be around 112 to prograde, if I'm not mistaken. Let's select Duna as target. Once again. Okay. And rather than SSTA, which was my initial designation, I'll call it SSTI Horus. Horus, going after, for those of you that haven't watched episode 12, in this save I'm naming my SSTOs, SSTIs according to the Egyptian mythology. So while in Series 1 of Interplanetary Voyage of Exploration I had mostly Nordic mythology gods, such as Odin, Thor, then maybe Valkyries and something like that. But now I'm having Horus, I'll have probably Ra, Anubis and others. Seth, Bast and others. So yeah. Okay, depending mostly on their usage. So I'm fiddling a little bit back and forth until I secure a good Duna encounter. I'm trying to see if by fiddling some of the parameters I could get a better encounter. Let me just reset, because that one clearly wasn't good enough. Okay. I was hoping that I could get in closer, but I'll take what I can get. And a total burn is 1042.1 meters per second, which for this particular vessel it's rather minuscule. We have 5,407 delta V in total in this craft, so yeah. Oh, and I noticed I still had some intakes open. Wow. Go figure. Okay, pointed the craft maneuver prograde, and I think it's time we put the focus back on our vessel and get ready for the ejection, I guess. Okay, burn coming in. Estimated burn 4 minutes and node in 2 minutes. That means that we'll be burning 5, 4, 3, 2 and burn. It will be a long burn because I am using the Vasimir engines, which are very low thrust weight, but they have a great fuel economy, so yeah. Beautiful screenshot. And sunset as we burn away from Kerbin. Juno G. Kerbin and Maxted Kerbin embarking on a grand adventure somewhere in the stars. Okay, 2 more minutes to burn, 500 meters per second. And I mean, despite the fact that its thrust weight is rather low, I mean it's 0.5, so for the interplanetary stage, it's not that bad actually. I'm actually pretty happy the way this little SSTI flies. How well will it perform the other tasks? That well remains to be seen, but yeah. So far, all my test attempts to actually land an SSTO on Duna, well in Series 1 mostly, but some also tests ones have resulted in unplanned colonization of Duna. So yeah, that tends to happen. I'm really trying hard to actually figure out the descent profile for an SSTO to Duna and how to actually land the damn thing. Okay. Perfect. RCS, and I believe... Oh, we don't have an encounter. We'll need to fix it a little bit, I guess. Okay, let's see if we can wiggle around a little bit with maybe RCS thrusters or something. I don't know. Let's add a maneuver node just to fix that we do get an encounter with Duna, because that's my kind of main gripe. I don't care if I get the best encounter, but I at least have to have encounter because of my Kerbal alarm clock, so that we don't forget about the SSTI Horus. Focus on Duna, come on, a little bit. 1.8 meters per second, and then I'm trying to make it a little bit closer. It seems that I could actually make it a bit closer. Somewhere along these lines. Oh boy, this would be wonderful. Okay, but yeah, so let us make that tiny correction. 93 meters per second, given that this craft has 4,000, I mean it's really minuscule. So yeah. Time accelerating until the maneuver node. And then you can appreciate, or you cannot appreciate us leaving Kerbin because we are pointing downwards and we look silly. Well, that's kind of the point. This is after all a Kerbal vessel. So yeah, hilarity may ensue. And we will be burning 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and kicking the gas. And now I'm monitoring my encounter with Duna, so I really want to get this one correct. Come on. And a little bit more. Here we go. Well, this is as close as I'm gonna get it. I'm very happy with that one. And guys, I mean, we are on the 30-minute mark, so enjoy the sight of our SSTI Horus as it leaves the Kerbin. Screenshot, obviously, and I will thank you guys for watching for this episode. Like if you liked, hit subscribe button for more KSP goodness that is coming soon. And until next episode, thank you very much for watching. This is GrunfWorks signing off.